the history of this country who has a red checkered and jaded history, have you ever heard the President of the United States or former president praise a avowed enemy of the country? Here's a man that said he was exchanging love letters, his words, not mine, with the president of North Korea, who is an avowed enemy of this country. Praises Putin while Putin is in a military operation that the United States government warned them not to do. So I don't understand why anyone would
face the facts.
fathom that he would not incite a insurrection. He has clearly said he's not concerned about the interests of this country. He's only concerned about the interests of himself.
My God.
And what's instructive about that, because most of us know what Trump's about, known it for some time. I certainly known it for decades.
Good morning.
What's instructive, though,
it's time for Face the Facts.
Is this right-wing media that wants
it's a
to
rainy Thursday, boy.
Scrutinize everybody. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA, is.
So where was she locked up at? Tulsa? No, Oklahoma.
And they hit me at
oh, Jesus.
Twice a week on Fox or somewhere. But
good morning.
Justify the outright, not only bizarre, but clearly anti-American positions of Donald Trump.
Yo, Miss Sherry said hi.
Lack of seriousness.
She on Facebook Live.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore.
I can't hear you, yo.
Minority control and operate and
we late?
African American communities for over
Lord.
40 years.
Jesus. I'm gonna get these seconds back. I'm playing. I don't care. So, Eugene on there? Okay. Should be fine. Yo, this version is fast. Y'all can't even dance to this joint. I might have a heart attack. Damn, 1 minute late. Come on. Give it to me. I don't need it. Hey, Lady B. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. This is Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn. I'm your host, Kelly Vaughn. Welcome back to another show. I want to say hi to everyone who's streaming live at www.wolbbaltimore.com. Also want to say hi to everybody on Facebook Live. Good morning to you. We're going to get started with our show. Hey, Miss Sherry, Michael, Talik, Lady B, who else? Lottie Dottie, everybody. Good morning, people. Have a good show in front of you. Don't shake your head at me, Sean. Have a great show for you today. But I got to handle some housekeeping. First of all, I want to thank everyone who came out to the food giveaway last Thursday. It was quite the success. We gave out over 10,000 pounds of food. Put it right in our community. So thank you for those who showed up. Thank you for those who pointed people to the food giveaway. We're going to do it every month. You can pre-mark your calendars for every third Thursday of the month at 2:00. You can plan to get food. We've been doing it for over a year. And we're not going to stop anytime soon. Definitely want to give a shout out to Ark Church, one of the best churches I think there is. And my bishop and my father, Bishop J.L. Carter, and the missionary ministry that makes it happen every single month. We thank you so much from myself and the community. We thank you for just Always being around to serve the community is important. Also, I promise to be transparent. I am in trial because of the protest that I did. So I won't be talking much about the trial, but I just wanted to let our listenership know that it has started, and we'll see what happens. Um, this weekend, on Saturday at 11 o'clock, there will be a Black History celebration that is hosted by the National Action Network, Baltimore chapter. They'll be honoring some folks, and they thought of little old me to honor at this event. So if you can, join me at the Arena Players. I believe it's 801 McCullough. And if you plan to go, please call 410-728-6500 to reserve your space. We have a capacity of 200 people because of COVID regulations. And so if you'd like to join me this Saturday, I will be there at 11 a.m. along with Senator Larry Young. Speaking of Senator Larry Young, there was a disrespectful caller on his show today that called him names, disparaging names. And until you, Nathan, give an apology to Senator Larry Young, I'm going to follow his lead and don't call my show either. All right. Now that I've handled some business, I want to go over to the lines and pick up with Miss Ujima before we start with our topic. She has an announcement to make. Miss Ujima, good morning. You're on Face the Facts. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so good morning. Okay, Vaughn. So I'm calling in because, we got the CIAA going on. And, they're telling even the radio stations, even Dr. Kathy's radio station is saying, welcome and try our chicken boxes and, go to our harbors. But the CIAA is about supporting other Black
Thank you, Kevin.
That's what it really is about. And so, not having gone to a CIAA school, I'm a MEAC school because I'm Morgan. I have been to the CIAA before, and I know how it can tremendously impact this city. So next year, I will have people being involved. But for this year, we decided not only the UB Blake and Bubbleton and Cook and Woman Working Organizing Making a Nation organization, which is a 501c3. We got the top African American man in the visual arts by the name of Ernest Shaw Jr. Ernest Shaw Jr. is going to be at UB Blake tomorrow between 7 and 11. His talk starts at 8 o'clock. You get to see his work and you get to hang out with him. He is responsible for that beautiful mural over the top of the Art Social Club over on North Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue, and several other beautiful murals throughout the city. He is one of the top visual artists in the country, and his work is being hung and shown internationally. He's going to walk our visitors and our locals through Baltimore through the eyes of a native son. And he's part of a group called Art in the Hands of Men. And all of these men are African American men doing the doggone thing in the visual art area. So much so that companies like Nike and Vans have given them major contracts to design their design shoes for them. And they're right here out of Baltimore. So it's a good look for us. And of course, we got the food. We have Island Cuisine. We got Casey Copeland. We have a new Caribbean chef that's from the Virgin Islands. We have vendors. We got a brother named Antoine Dow who owns a barbershop over on Drew Hill Avenue, who has his own line of professionally packaged hair sheen, and he's doing a big barber show coming up soon. So it's just a lot of local people that people can intermix with and kind of feel Baltimore out without being necessarily in the streets of Baltimore. And I just think it's a good look for Baltimore.
Well, you guys heard it here. I plan to go to one of these events. There's so many of them. I'm like, geez.
Hopefully, Kelly, and I know that it's good to intertwine and intermingle with everybody, but these are our own homegrown artists, and I'm hoping that everybody can get some value out of this and come. It's jazz, it's a DJ, it's genders,
Hey,
it's everything.
Carlton.
It's
Hey,
great
Troy.
food, and it's some of the
Hey, Dr.
top
Ron.
artists
Hey,
in
Kevin.
the country, and you can see them. I know we can't do prices here, but it's very affordable. And you got people like Sean Holmes, John Henderson, Z-Way and Milton Elect, and Brian Robinson. And these are people who are known across the world, not just in Baltimore, but Baltimoreans don't know them because we're not engaging, of course, because of COVID, but for all many other reasons. But you have to come out and support the people who have made this city beautiful. And that is some of the best mural and visual artists in the country and possibly internationally. So we're going to be there at 847 North Howard Street between the hours of 7 and 11 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Kickback. You can find it on the Eventbrite at The Kickback, or you can find it on our website at www.Sheffing, the Sheffing series. I put the word D,
Hey, Spence.
T-H-E, Sheffing, C-H-E-F-F-I-N-G, series, SERIES.com. And or you can look up Brothers Who Can Cook if you can remember that, and come on out and get with all of us and show our guests that we do know how to perform outside of a wire presentation. And if you have problems with all the website stuff, you can call me at 443-413-3448. That's 443-413-3448. Kelly, you know how we do. So you know it's going to be good.
Oh, I know how y'all get down. And when you have an event, everything is, first of all, it starts on time. That's what I love about it, because our people, we like to start late. But it starts on, Sean just came in my ear, my producer, and he said, I'll be late. I'm never late. I was on time to her event. Don't even try it. But, thank you so much. And enjoyed myself thoroughly on vegan food. Yes, I did. So don't even try it. But it's always a great event, always great vendors. I'm still enjoying some of the things I picked up from the last event that you guys held. So I will be in attendance at some point in time. But thank you so much.
Want to know what? Tell Sean that once he gets some of my sorbet, he will never bother.
Listen, Sean, I gotta hurry up. But this lady and this sorbet that she be talking about, it's legit. And as soon as the weather breaks, I have to host her at an event so she can bring that sorbet out, because I was over there like a fiend with my little cup talking about, yeah, give me some more and give me one of them little spoons. And I tore that stuff up outside in the rain with no problem. But thank you, Miss Ujima, for coming on, giving us the information. I'll be posting a flyer on my Face the Facts page for anyone who missed the information. But thank you so much for keeping us abreast of what's going on. You too. Thank you. So let's get to our show, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. We kind of introduced it last week. And so here we go. Successful and powerful women. Can we have balanced and meaningful relationships with men? Now, I did a little research that I want to share with you guys. In the U.S., women in their households, 37% are the main breadwinners in their households, which means they make the most money in their household. But the turnover rate in marriages, out of that 37%, 19% have endured a divorce. And this is according to the Harvard Business Law magazine. There are a lot of reasons that could be. We know of some famous people or some people in large positions that are women, that their men, they stand right by them. Kamala Harris, our vice president. Douglas Emhoff is right there with her. Jenny Romney, who is the former CEO of IBM, her husband Mark stood right beside her. Savannah Guthrie, who's the anchor on the Today Show, her man Michael Feldman has no problem with what she does and her being the main breadwinner. Now, I'm an entrepreneur. I have a couple of businesses. And I find that when I go to date, sometimes I am the one who makes more money. And in that, I find that sometimes the dating world is not kind to a woman like me who makes her own money, who has her own home, who pays for her own car, her own bills. The dating scene is not kind to women like me. What I found is that a lot of times, whoever I try to get romantically involved with has an issue with the things that I do. Now, even though I make my own money, even though I take care of myself, I'm still a submissive woman at the end of the day. I like to cook. I like to clean. I like to take care of home. However, I don't like when a man will try and throw his weight around just because I make more money than he does. I feel as though what I do should be respected. I feel as though what I do should not cause a man to have to throw anything in my face. And let me give you an example. I did a protest. At the time, I was romantically involved with someone. That person got intimidated by the fact that I was on TV a lot, that I had a lot of people contacting me. And one day, this man said, I forbid you to do the protest. I don't want you to do the protest anymore. Wrap it up, stop it, or it's going to kill our relationship. Kill our relationship, it did. But I was not about to stand down because of his ego not being able to respect or value what I wanted to do. And I don't think there's anything wrong with a powerful woman who has her own voice. I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman who makes her own money. I still believe that that person can still, at the end of the day, be submissive at home. But there are a lot of men who are intimidated by that. And I just want to know why. Men, I mean, are there men out there who can deal with that kind of relationship and be mature? Or is it that you guys want us to dummy ourselves down to fit your narrative of being the leader in the household? Now, my mother said, you're single till you're married. So until I'm married, no man will ever make me change what I want to do because I'm a strong-headed woman. And once I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it. But I want to hear from the fellas. Why are you guys intimidated? And if you're not intimidated, tell me why you're not intimidated by a woman who makes their own money. Thomas, call back in. And you guys can call in too. 410-481-1010. 410-481-1010. I also want to hear from the ladies who make their coin and who have encountered relationships where a man feels threatened by the fact that you can hold your own. Does it mean that we have to dummy ourselves down to fit your narrative? Does it mean that we have to dummy down what we do, the impact that we make, the power positions that we hold? Because, women are starting really to hold high status careers and high status roles in companies. And this is something that is not going to change. I was telling someone the other day that the market of the trucking industry is starting to accept more and more women who are getting their own tractor trailers and who are coming up with their own transportation companies and really breaking into the scene and making their money. And I was talking about it in a group of people, and there was a man that said, wow, the road is no place for a woman on a tractor trailer. Why not? Why not? We can come into the market, we can hold our own, and we can still have successful and lasting relationships. I truly believe that. But there are so many men who are intimidated, and I just want to hear from you guys. Why are you intimidated? Or if you're a woman and you're in a relationship, tell me what it's like for you. What's happening in your household? I'm gonna go to the lines, but if you guys want to call in, I have 3 lines available. The number is 410-481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. But I want to hear from you. We got Spencer on Facebook saying y'all are gangster. What makes us gangster? Why are we gangster? Because we can hold our own. Why can't we just be strong and powerful women that hold positions, hold jobs, make our coin just like you do? And the flip side of it is this, is that if we didn't, then we'd be called gold diggers. She's just with me to get what she can out of me. But there's some powerful women that we can hold our own. We can say what needs to be said. We can make the coin that needs to be made. But we're still feminine. We still want a man that will take care of us. And I honestly think that one thing doesn't have anything to do with the other. Shout out to my bestie, Candace. I love you, boo. Birthday tomorrow. We're going to celebrate you. I'm going to get to these lines, though. But I want to hear from you guys. What's really going on, and what have you experienced? Are you a man that can respect a woman that can hold her own? Are you a woman that's dealing with a knucklehead that can't deal with the fact that you can make your own? I want to hear from you. Let's go to the lines and pick out with Jean. Jean, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelly. I got one question for you before I explain my situation. What do you mean by submissive?
By submissive, and just because I make more money doesn't mean I call all the shots in the household.
How is that submissive? Someone makes more or less money. Now, to me, submissive means that one person is dominant over the other.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for me to be submissive as a woman, just because I make more money doesn't mean that I don't submit to my husband, and it doesn't mean that I run the household.
So I just want to go with this. Have you read the book called 50 Shades of Grey, etc.?
50 Shades of Grey, yes.
She submissive, or was he submissive? Submissive to me, you're talking to have a conversation about power. Who was more powerful in that relationship?
Right, and he was more powerful in the relationship, wouldn't you say?
More money than her, but she was more powerful because she was actually calling the shots. See, and I think people get it mixed up. It's like, first you have to understand, who is more powerful in a relationship. It has nothing to do with money. It has to, like you say, who's calling the shots. And whether you're sharing calling the shots, whether you are intimidated by a person if they call the shots. I'm not intimidated by anybody who calls the shots. They're at that particular situation, that time, they are more powerful in that role. It's a role, and roles transfer. I'll give you an example. I dated a woman who was a vice president in a banking situation, right? And I was an account executive. We didn't have a problem with power at all, and she was a better tennis player than me. And so when she recruited me to play mixed doubles with her, I was in a submissive position, right? The less powerful, because she was the better player. These things, roles change. And sometimes I think what we fail to realize is that sometimes in a relationship, whether it's cooking or anything, is that sometimes women are just smarter, brighter, stronger, etc. And if men have a problem with that, then if I was a woman, and just
Thank
like
you, Smith.
and I'm a man, it's like I wouldn't even deal with that person. Why waste your time? But so
Yes,
my
that was for
question
you,
a
Kurt.
lot of times to women is, why do you waste your time on a dimwit?
Very true. Very, very true. Thank you, Jean. Gonna go right back to the lines, and if you need a line, I got 2 available: 410-481-1010, 410-481-1010. I have all men on my board. I need to hear from these ladies. So call in 410-481-1010. I have a lady online on Facebook that says, I totally get that and have to remind people, I've always had my own and love my mate for the non-monetary items he gives me. If he went broke tomorrow, I'd still be around, and that's 100. Kevin is on Facebook. He says, in my opinion, that's you're in a marriage. Why does it matter who makes the most money? As long as the bills in the home are taken care of. The man or woman doesn't have any more say than the other. We're one, period. Let's go to the lines and pick up with Thomas. Thomas, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Kelly. You really know how to end somebody's week, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You keep us thinking. That's why you got my vote to be the host of the morning show if LY ever retires. You got my vote, Kelly. Now, let's get down to the get down, okay?
All right.
I'm not intimidated by no woman. For a lot of years, my wife made more money than me. Does that make me any less of a man? No. A lot of years, a while back when we first started our marriage, I didn't have a business, okay? Now I have 2 businesses, okay? My wife stood by me. Did that make me any less of a man? She encouraged me, okay? And for the man who can't stand a strong woman, a lot of them are not, I wouldn't even call them a man, Kelly, because a lot of them are living in their ex-wife's houses.
Okay,
paying
Candace.
their ex-wife's rent.
Well, Jesus.
Okay? But yet, they always brag about what kind of car they drive. You be car rich, but you house poor. Because you got to depend on somebody else for that roof over your head.
Jesus.
How stupid is that? And then some of them want to come on the radio and want to try to chastise you for speaking your mind. Woe to the one that can't accept a strong woman for being a strong woman. Now, Kelly, I must say, what makes a lot of men mad about that situation, a lot of them have what some of us men call the Oprah syndrome. Okay? Ain't got no man, they always tell you they don't need no man. If you always tell a man you don't need him, and he's trying to give you his best, but you say you don't need him, every time you get around your friends feeding into you, you don't need no man, you don't need no man, you gonna be just like us. We don't need no man, we make our own money. Kelly, at some point, we gotta tell them shut up. Because misery loves company.
That's the truth.
I'll leave it at that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate you for calling in. What he's saying is right. Kirk says, in the world we are one. In the Bible, the man is the head of the household. But if you are not into the good book, you wouldn't know. And that's true. There's a such thing that is called God's order, and it's like that for a reason. But let's go back to the lines. Well, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that. Sean, are we ready for a break? Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. If you're on the lines, please hold on. I'll get right back to you after this brief break. If you want to call in, The phone number is 410-481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. Let's talk about this thing. This is Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn on 1010 WOLB.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore, an Urban One radio station, minority controlled and operated and serving the African American communities for over 40 years. The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio One, its sponsors, or advertisers.
Lord God. And we're back. This is Face the Facts with Kelly Vaughn. I'm your host, Kelly Vaughn. And today we're talking about successful and powerful women. Can we have balanced and meaningful relationships? Are we power tripping with our mates? Is it that because a woman makes more money, she can run things? Is it the man is intimidated by the woman who makes more money, and so he finds a way to disrespect her or feels less than a man? We've heard from some of our listenership, and Spence says on Facebook, first of all, Wayne says this is a great show topic, so thank you, Wayne. But Spence says, it doesn't matter who makes more. 2 incomes are better than one, especially when you are happy. Teamwork. I'm with Spence on that. Personally, I feel like, okay, I may make more money, but if I've chosen you to be my mate, and we're not just talking about dating, we're talking about we've actually committed to each other, marriage, I'm still going to hold you in high regard as the head of my household. So while I may be the one who is the main breadwinner as far as money is concerned, I'm still going to respect my man and his rightful place in what he does in our household, which is to lead. That is the God's plan. That is God's plan. That is the order. That is the order of a household and how it's supposed to be. And it's for many reasons. But I'm going to get back to the phones, take some more calls. If you guys want to call in, we got 3 lines available, 410-481-1010. That's 410-481-1010. We still haven't heard from the ladies, but the men are representing right now. So that's what we're rolling with. Ladies, don't leave me hanging. Don't let me be the only voice. I want to hear from you guys too. Right now, we go to the lines and pick up with Kenny. Kenny, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kelly. How are you?
Doing quite well. How are you?
Excellent. Well, the statistic you're giving about the divorce rate among the 37% of those men and women, where the women are making more money in a household, is around 50%. But in the same circumstance and situation for the balance, which would be about, which I guess approximately 63%, what is the divorce rate among the men that are making more money?
Now that I did not research.
Okay, that would kind of give us a, something to kind of balance on, to say, okay, well, 50% here where the women are making more money under this 37%, and how many, in opposed to 67%, how much of those 67% where the man's making more, what is the rate of divorce? Just a little bit, but you're always on point anyway. Just my 2 cents.
Not a problem. And I'm going to look that up and bring it back. The only reason why I didn't look up that statistic, and it did run across my mind, is because most times women do look for a man that makes more money. But to come across a relationship where the woman is the main breadwinner is a little, it's a little less accepted. But I'm going to look that up and I'll get back to you with it next week.
Balance of that. Are these 53% of men saying, okay, well, I'm 63% of this, I'm making more money. Am I divorcing my wife or cutting out on my wife because I am the breadwinner and I can be the most powerful person in the household. Money never gives power. There's no one, I don't care who you are, you can have all the money in the world. It's a fallacy that money
Hey,
is
Bo.
power. So there's a limitation on your power. Surface power, but not real power. Since they recognize that. In terms of a relationship with a man, a woman where a woman makes more, I believe women will respect their mate, although he's making less, if he has the same grind as she is. When she's up at night and she's working from home, is he the same? Is he doing the same thing? Is he grinding as hard as she is? And I believe at that point that this is not an issue because she sees that, the same grind that he has is the same grind that I have. And that means you two people have the same idea about the grind. So that's so important because if that man is not grinding and he's not trying to get better because he sees this woman, and that's really an opportunity for him to say, you know what, I see her grind. I want to be grinding like that too. So it allows everyone to come to the table, regardless of what the end result of money. This man's maxing out. He's grinding. I can respect his grind because he works as hard as I do. So that's all I believe the mates really want to see, more so than anything else, especially in today's world. Things have changed dramatically, and men recognize that women are making as much or more, and women recognize, hey, this is a sign of the time. This is not 1901, 1906. This is year two. This is we're here in 2022. This is reality, and we know that it takes two to do this if you're building something together. So if everybody's on the same page, it's about building, and in the result, we're putting our coin together to build. It's irrelevant, especially in today's world. We've surpassed that, and so I really believe that that's why the men are speaking up today, and that's why they're not intimidated. Because I grind as much as she does, and she may make a few more dollars than me, but I'm grinding just like she is. So I believe that makes a good situation and circumstance for everybody, and that's all they want to see. Even if you make less, that's all women want to see. Are you grinding like this? Yeah. Baby, come on, let's do this. So I believe that that's an opportunity. Baby, come on. For to come to the table. So I guess I said all I could say. Thank you for your time this morning, Kelly.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you. You too. And he said it right. I've been there where you walk out the house, man. It's the worst feeling to walk past somebody that's chilling on the couch and you going to go make their money. He's absolutely right. That's what we want. We want to see your grind. So I like what he said. Gonna get over to Dr. Ron. Dr. Ron, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I wanted to definitely call in about this topic because it is a topic that is personal to me, and I have firsthand experience of that. When I first met my wife, she was a school teacher. I encouraged her to go back to school to get her master's degree because everywhere we went, it was Dr. Ron and his mate, Dr. Ron, and his fiance, Dr. Ron. And when we got married, it was Mrs. Howell. So she always said, well, I'm always Dr. Ron's wife. Everywhere we went, I'm just Dr. Ron's wife. So I encouraged her prior to us getting married to go back to school. She got her master's degree. She's now in the doctoral program, which she's getting ready to complete. And now she is the assistant superintendent for York Schools in Pennsylvania.
All right.
And I am excited. I am excited because I have seen her rise from a teacher to assistant superintendent. And when she completes her doctoral program, she will be qualified to be the superintendent of any public school system.
Wow.
I don't see any intimidation because we are building a legacy. And when you have a real man who supports his wife and who is trying to build a legacy with their spouse, there should not be any intimidation. There should not be any crab barrel mentality where the man is jealous or seems as if the wife is wearing wearing the pants.
Mm-hmm.
She makes almost, and when she becomes the school superintendent, will make more money than I do. With all that I do, with my job and with me being a licensed clinical professional counselor and preaching, she will probably make more money than I do, which is wonderful to me because then we can share the responsibility of the household bills. But we submit one to another, as you said in the beginning. When there's things that she feels is a woman's role to do, she submits and she does them. I have dinner quite frequently. Does she cook every night? No. Many nights we go out to eat because of our schedule, but she cooks. I take the trash out. I wash her car. I put gas in her car. But when she washes the clothes. So we submit one to each other because of our love and respect for each other. But money should never determine the respect level that you have for your mate. And it should never be an indicator of jealousy, because when she rises, I rise. When I rise, she rises. If she bumps up, I level up. And that's how all men should look at it.
Boss up, level up, shorty.
If their woman is the breadwinner. If she a boss, you a boss. Because she leveled you up.
Well, I love everything you're saying. Thank you so much, Dr. Ron. You're on it. And we're going to see what the rest of the world has to say. But thank you. Excellent analogy. Excellent example. Thank you, sir. You too. So I'm looking on Facebook Live, and Kirk says, in my opinion, those strong, independent women must let that man know that no matter how much money she makes, he's still needed. Some strong, independent women are too busy flexing, showing, if not telling the man, how he's really not needed, especially during conflict. And this is what I was getting ready to bring up, because ladies, sometimes in the midst of an argument or conflict, the first thing we pull out as a source of a weapon is how much money we make over top of them, or how many bills we are paying over top of them. And that's not fair. Just want to pause there and say that. Troy on Facebook says, I think that in those cases where this is an issue, the two are more competitors to one another than partners. The mindset is who's gonna rule. Yeah, I've definitely seen that. David, good morning. You're on Face the Facts.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
A great conversation. I had to call because, I just want to share experience, and this is just in my past. I dated a young lady at the time. She was college educated. She was a nurse practitioner at the time, and I was a person working for city government, low-level, entry-level position, and we got along well, but she allowed her friends to say, hey, this guy's not college educated. This guy's not on your level. And it kind of affected our relationship to the point where it kind of deteriorated because she let other people inside of our relationship. I was a entry level at the time, but over time, I made moves and became manager level in that situation. But my point was that she allowed her friends to say, this guy is not a college educated person, that this guy is not going to amount to anything. And it really affected our relationship in the long term, and we ended up splitting. And I just want to add that. And just to add another point, I have a child. She's a young lady. She's 26, 27 years old. Her and her friends, they're college educated. They have master's degrees. But these young men are intimidated to date them because they feel like these young ladies are doing better than them. And I just can't understand that. Those are my comments.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for bringing up that point. He's absolutely correct. Ladies, we all have these girlfriends. We pull them into our business, our relationship. And then the next thing you know, because they don't have anybody and they're pretty miserable. Misery loves company, right? And so we end up disrespecting a relationship that doesn't have to be disrespected, that should not involve other people. So David, thank you for bringing up that point. Gonna get back to the lines with... Oh, Kirk agrees with me on Facebook Live. He said that's because misery loves company, and it's right. We're gonna go back to the lines and pick up with Mike. Mike, you're on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today, Kelly?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I am doing fine. I think it's the whole thing sometimes get involved when people lose perspective. And I'm not saying that you can't be a business owner or a teacher or whatever, but that's what you do outside of yourself. You're still a man, you're still a woman, and your job title is just happen to be what you're good at and do. And sometimes it's not always that you're good at it, but it pays the bills. When I met my wife, and we will be married 20 years this year, when I met her, I owned 2 businesses and 3 houses. But I drove around in a little car, not because I had to, but because to me, I just need transportation to get around. So a lot of women would judge me on the car that I drove. Now, I had a better car home, but if I'm out doing work hitting Baltimore City potholes, I'm riding what I need to get around in to get my work done and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, I helped push her through college because I saw in her, good skills, and she was a nice person. And some of her girlfriends, just like one of the other callers, said, "Oh, this guy not college educated. This guy's not this." And it's because I do stuff for me. If you walk in my house, you would never knew I'm retired military. I own 3 businesses, a couple college degrees. None of those awards and stuff up on the wall, and it's not that I'm not proud of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, guess what? That was something I need done. I put my wife, a couple other girlfriends, 3 of my cousins through college before I got a college degree because I already had businesses, I already had homes and stuff. When my wife now makes more than me to the fact that I retired, and now she has a couple businesses of her own too, we never lost prospect and purview of, guess what? We're husband and wife, we're on the same team.
That's
so
right.
What I have, you have. What you have, I have. Marriage, sometimes you hear people say, "Oh, it's 50-50. No, it's 100-100. Because guess what? I'm going to be all in. You're going to be all in. Because at one point, guess what? Medical-wise, she was down on her back, couldn't do anything. And it's like, okay, guess what? I'm not going to still require her to do the food and stuff like that. I came home, cooked meals for me and the kids. Why? Because my schedule allowed me to do that. She works later. She can get off work till 9 o'clock. Man, the kid's not going to start till 9. So you do what you have to do when you are on a team. And you, I understand you said you're a business owner. You know what? At some point when I was the business owner, I was the janitor, I was the cashier, I was the maintenance man.
Hello.
Business needed done at the time. And that's how I see my marriage. I'm the mother, I'm the wife, I'm whatever me and my family need. If one of us is not there, guess what? The other one picks up the slack. Because sometimes her job takes her out of town. I was in the military. I was gone a lot. So I depended on her to not only take care of her business, but take care of mine while I was gone. So it's when you lose the perspective of what your roles are and your compatibility with each other, the dollars come and go. You're going to be thinking about how did somebody treat you? How did they uplift and encourage you? You're also going to think about how did somebody disrespect you? And if I'm throwing money in your face, then that to me is a minor thing. Yeah, we need it in life as a tool, but it's the nastiness and negativity that comes along with me overpowering you by the checkbook. It's like, oh, guess what? Me and my wife now, if I do any purchase over $300, I ask my wife about it. So if a friend of mine want to borrow $5,000 from me, I discuss with my wife. Why? She's my child. But besides that, I want to let her know that guess what? I'm gonna let this person go because hey, they needed their hard time for every case. We help multiple family members out. But when someone tries to bring that drama, I tell guys, don't get mad that your wife is educated. Guess what? She's on your team. If you start harassing your star player, you're the dumbest coach around.
Well, my God, I love the analogy. Yes, sir.
And mindful and you're a religious person too. Like I say, everybody's not, but I'm blessed that God gave me Proverbs 31 woman, and I love it to death.
Oh, well, thank you so much for sharing with us.
And I'm keeping you in prayer for that court situation. But guess what? Truth outweighs lies any day of the week.
That's the truth. Thank you. And the truth don't need no cosigner. Thank you. Gonna go over to Mark C. Good morning. You're on Face the Facts.
Hey, good morning. As usual, great conversation, and I love those strong men calling in, man, because Kelly, you talked about a personal situation. Any man that's comfortable within himself, that's doing the work on himself that we all need to do. He's gonna shine. Make sure his woman shines. And make sure she's gonna make sure that he shines. It ain't about money. The guy mentioned Oprah. Well, her and Stedman have been together over 30 years. But guess what? A lot of people don't know he's successful with it in his own right. Same thing with Kathy Hughes. Jeff, I can't think of his name. They were in a relationship. I don't know if they still are. A long time. I'm sure he made a lot less money than her.
Had to.
And it was very right. So that was his loss. So he feels stupid. He probably thought you was going to choose him. But my wife, I am so proud we retired. I cook, I was, we do stuff, together and we do stuff apart, She has a God is Good group. She a prayer warrior. She got 1,200 followers. I got goose eggs. I joke with her about that. And I'm so proud of her, man. And any man that's secure within himself on Facebook, the guys that I know that I hang around with, they make sure that they appreciate and shine, make sure that they appreciate their woman. Kelly, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
But they celebrate. That's what I'm trying to say. They make sure they celebrate their spouse or their girlfriend or whatever. And if you're not doing that, then you're not secure within yourself. And I'm gonna tell you something else. If you're a man and women start to, say if you're a leader or whatever, and you don't listen to a woman giving her perspective, a lot of times you can see that man is not successful in whatever he's doing. When a woman comes for you and you ain't listening, you're in trouble, brother.
Thank you, Mark. Let's hear from Miss Sherry. Miss Sherry, on Face the Facts. Good morning.
Hello, Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly, an interesting conversation today. I wanted to sit back and listen to the men. And for the most part, 90% of them I totally agree with. But Kelly, I will say this one caveat. Sometimes really, we don't need to boast about what we do, what we got. I got this. I'm making this sure. We don't put a man down like that. One thing about it, easy come and it can easy go. Sometimes we need to, I want to say this, but don't take it the wrong way. Sometimes we need to be seen and not heard. Yeah. Unless you learn, we won't even have this conversation. Because for number one, I don't have to worry about it. I'm broke. So basically, what can I do to help the relationship? I'm broke. But you know what? I might have a kitty stashed aside when you really need it. When you really need it. Because like Dr. Vaughn said, a man could help put his wife to school to be a doctor. She might lose in the beginning, but in the long run, it's good for the family. Like this conversation, Kelly. So, Kelly, you have a good one. Now, Kelly, let me give you one more caveat.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm here. Yes, ma'am.
Nowadays, honey, with this modern technology, you can rent a man. You can have one to order, which you want, just for a specific time. And that's it. Go to work. That's my order. Have a good one, Kelly.
Thank you so much, Miss Sherry. really quickly, we're gonna get to Miss Storm. Oh my gosh, Miss Sherry has me dying laughing. Miss Storm, you're on Face to Facts. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Charlotte. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. Just wanted to call in also, and I listened to you guys. I had a situation in the past that went as well, where the guy was dating, he wasn't working or doing anything, but he wanted to finish. He wanted to be a teacher. He wanted to finish school, go to school. So I did exactly that. I worked. I paid all the bills, but also helped him pay to stay in school to receive his degree. But of course, during the process, it became the jealousy, different things came into play. And I didn't know it at first, and when I started to see it, it became an issue. But I still hung in there with him because my mission was to make sure, as we started, that he finished school, whether he would end up with me or not, because I really cared about that part of his life, and I don't think he understood or got that. So fast forward, afterwards, I remained, breadwinner as far as having money, and I bowed out of an industry, like I said, to making that type of money because it was compromising my integrity, my self-respect, and things like that, my dignity. And so when the money between some of the the guys that were interested were no longer interested, it became a different process. And even though they can see that I had the ability to regain consciousness and continue grinding, to get back on my feet and go back to the top. And it seems though, even though they can see that in me, it wasn't enough to keep those guys around or sustain. And even the little bit I had, they were asking for that. You know what I mean? Like, the money became a big deal versus, my thing is this: any man with potential, any person with potential could be a great person. My thing is that the riches inside of you is what sustains and keep you moving forward and knowing who you are. I've always been able to get out and make things happen. I'm starting a new business now once again, and it takes understanding on both ends. And regardless of what I have, I still remain the person that's in the help seat. Because it's all about us being successful. So I never really, looked at it in the manner of what a man could have and not have. When we were younger, you can be a little more impressionable because as you're growing, especially if you grew up without having anything, you see the cars, the money, this, that, and other. And I'm sure, like the song said, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And my mom also taught us that as long as you have each other, you have something. So I always look at it, if you have someone in your life that has potential to make things happen, you can grow to that. So I've also lost some friends. Well, maybe they weren't friends, they're some lady friends, because their motto is always saying, I don't need a man. And I just did not agree with that regardless, to what their status was or not. And that's just, I couldn't stand hearing that on a consistent basis. I don't need a man. Of course you do. So I just wanted to call in and say, I commend the gentlemen that did call in, and they have been and are supportive to their children, strong, and whether they're the breadwinners or not, and those who have helped their ladies achieve and grow to where they are now. And that's about it. I just wanted to call in and say, look inside of ourselves, and continue to grow with one another, and not look at the things that we don't have. Like you say, you can replace money, but you can't replace a wonderful person.
Thank you, Miss Storm. I appreciate it. Thank you for calling in. And that's a great place to end our show. I want to thank everyone on Facebook Live, over at www.wolbbaltimore.com, and everyone who called in, all of our listenership. Thank you guys so much for chiming in on this very important topic. Of course, we'll be back with you next Thursday, 10:30 a.m., right here on 1010 WOLB with more conversations that need to be had in our community. I'm your host, Kelly Vaughn, and I'm saying, peace, family. Stay safe, stay masked up. This has been Face the Facts, 1010 WOLB. Peace. Hey, Ron. Yes, Miss Sherry again. Say, running man. Okay, Roderick. Good advice. Good advice. Good advice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, being a part. We appreciate you. Hey, Selena, thank you. Safe travel to my bestie who's going out somewhere. I'll get with her later when she lands. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Share this. Some people need to hear it. I don't know who, but make sure that some other people hear this discussion because it needed to be had. And ladies, let's be real. Sometimes we dog these men a little too much. Be a little more compassionate. And like people were saying, it's more about teamwork than anything else. If you're gonna be in a rent a man where, Miss Shari, tell us where we can rent that man. Put it right in them comments. We want to know. But it's about teamwork. And if you are not ready to be a part of a team, don't get into a relationship. A relationship is just simply not for you. I didn't get to say that on air today, but that's how I feel about it. If you're gonna sit up and you're gonna point and nickel and dime what a man is bringing to the table, 9 times out of 10, you don't want him. 9 times out of 10, you don't want him. And so don't go in no relationship. Get you a good situationship and go sit down somewhere. But if you're ready to, like so many of our people said, build with somebody else, then it doesn't matter who's making what. Build your lives together. Make sure you don't come across a bum though. And we know we can spot them a mile away. So thank you so much. It's been Face the Facts, and I'll see you guys next week.